Lab After Dark is starting shortly. Lab After Dark is starting soon.
What's happening? What up, Bri? How is everybody? Canadian Mama Bear. Good to see you. How are you? Also, got a live on the lab tomorrow. Dr. G is in the house. So that is 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. So make sure to get your seats early. Have your coffee brewed. Or whatever it is.
Lab After Dark is starting soon.
We got 3:15 in the morning.
Well, you opened that Pandora's door.
Yes, I did.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever, you know.
Whatever, dude. How does everything sound?
What's the point in causing any ruckus instead?
Lab After Dark starts now.
Oh. That's right. So everything sounds good. Okay. It's a beautiful thing. Give me a second here. I never know how to get out of this. That's not how you do it. At least I don't think. I don't know if that's any better. We'll call it a wash. That's right, only half of you. And this is such a like a random sort of pop up late, you know, Josh can't sleep. That's what the name of this should be. Josh can't sleep. I don't know why either. I'm not sure. All right, here we go. That's true. This is actually a regular time. I mean, whatever happened at 9:30? What kind of an asshole? Yeah, dude, let's do 9:30. How'd that work out? Not so good. The 9:30 spot was sorely lacking. God dang it. I should be asleep, but I have foot cramps. Like, that's an ongoing thing. Because I had a foot cramp the other day, too, man. It sucked. It's the worst thing ever. Like, when you kind of go like that to your foot, and then it like locks up on you. Whoo, boy. One time somebody told me to chug pickle juice. I don't know what magnesium lotion is, but I'll get it. No. I did. I gave it a try. I didn't like it. I don't know. It's just not like I like it because honestly, if I did this show 2 hours earlier, there obviously more people would watch and could watch. I get told all the time, constantly, Josh, you're on too late. But you know, and some people don't like watching the replay, even though the replay of this show is like one of the most spectacular things that could ever be witnessed. And, you know, so I get told that a lot. Go, you got to go earlier. And it's like, first of all, I'm on the West Coast. Second of all, everybody else, I don't want to. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I do or if I don't. I have no idea. See, like for the Australians, like Rod, it's early. This is prime time, dime time. A guy held a sign up at me today that said "too ugly to hook. Do you have any change?" It's like, dude, you're absolutely ridiculous. And they gave him 75 cents because it's true. He was super ugly, and hooking would have not favored him in any way, shape, or form. I'm retired, Josh. I'm good no matter what time you come on. Well, I appreciate that very much. Aussies are awesome. That's never been in question. Well, Rod, I hope you enjoy your dinner and the entertainment. I went to the gas station today. I'll tell you a little bit more about that here in a bit, but you'll see your first glimpse tonight if you're lucky enough to be here. And if you are, congratulations. Because you'll see your first glimpse of the gas station guy that we have talked about on this show numerous times. You know who I'm talking about. The gas station guy. Maybe some of you know. I don't know. You feel he has a beard? I don't think he does, actually, to be honest. Can't remember. We'll find out together. No, I did not buy his weenies. That's another thing that the gas station sold. It's like to a big, like Texas-based convenience store. You know, everything's bigger in Texas type shit. You know, like they're just, no, he's not my boyfriend. But so it's like renamed now. I don't know if he's regular or unleaded. The one with no ice. Well, what I was going to say is that the gas station has sold, and they don't do the hot dog. The hot dogs are gone. There's no more hot dogs. They're not going to do them anymore, okay? He didn't drop anything. I didn't buy his wieners. It's not Buc-ee's, but it's something like Buc-ee's. You know, like, yeah, I know I don't have to go there, but still, I like it. I like that gas station. But I think that he's a weekend worker, so I can probably sort of, yeah, no hot dog glizzies. I've never been to a Buc-ee's either, but I know, like McDonough. It's funny that you mentioned Buc-ee's because McDonough collects shirts from Buc-ee's. Like every Buc-ee's he goes to, he buys a shirt, and every time I've ever seen him, talk to him, where it was like leisure, like he was going on a walk or something, he's wearing some sort of Buc-ee's shirt. Like he's obsessed with Buc-ee's t-shirts. He has, I don't know how many he has, but it's a lot. One of the funniest things, though, that I'll never forget is, for some of you that are new here, that you may not know, but there's a lady named Prayer Gardens, and she used to beef tough, bro. When I say tough, like she beefed tough with this lady, the crazy critters on the farm, Miss Daisy. And they used to beef big, like it was bad. And I think that actually, from what I'm hearing, that may be sort of in the works again, like that there may be some trouble in paradise between everybody again. And I mean, these beefs were epic in a bad way. But Rod calls wieners hot dogs. But one time, and what Prayer Garden would always like Photoshop photos of Daisy or some of the clan, their clan that they hung out with. Yeah, they're beefing again, from what I hear. And I'm not, super interested in it, but I do want that photo more than anything in the world. But Natasha, I mean, I have heard the name, but I don't know who she is. But anyway, and one time, Prayer Gardens edited a photo of Daisy walking out of, it looked like she was in the parking lot, and behind it was a photo of Buc-ee's, and on the on her shirt it had the Buc-ee's logo, and said, "I took a dump at a Buc-ee's." That was the funniest thing ever. Just cold. She was cold blooded. You remember that one? That was the best ever. Oh my god. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I just that kills me every time. She had some crazy she had some crazy photoshops that she would do, and anyway, I can't take any more Benny Keys. I hear he's back. I don't know. I guess he's allowed to be. That's what he wants, but it I don't know. It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm just not going to engage with that shit anymore. Like with, how we all used to go at it. It really does just get so tiring and old. And I know like the people that are doing it right now are having fun with it, blah, blah, blah. Like I've been there, done it many, 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 many times. I've probably fought with almost every single person that I've had to interact with on here to some degree. And it's not like I don't really, first of all, I'm really not that into it, and it's not like an over and over and over and over and over thing. Of course I make exceptions for when I feel like it's necessary and when I have something to say. But it's not an everyday thing, and personally, particularly on the lab, like tomorrow, like I said, we have that call-in show with Dr. Gary, which will be fantastic as always because he's a great guest and we always have great callers. And I don't have to do that shit anymore. I used to kind of have to, meaning I didn't have to, but it was, I don't know. It was kind of content, I guess. But like I said, it's just not something that I have to do. It's not something that I want to do. It's not something I particularly enjoy. Although I do like arguing with people. I don't like getting into the weeds of talking about anything else. I always felt like if you're going to go at somebody, that it would be between you and that person, and nobody else. You're not talking about their mother. You're not talking about their kids. You're not talking about their cousins. You're not talking about their wives, or and sort of like with Crabtree, like he was complaining tonight that that I'm mean to him or whatever he thinks it is, and that I'm so awful to him, and I'm not, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, I give him shit and I make fun of him, but I don't talk about his family. I don't talk about his wife. I don't tell him to go do anything to himself. And basically he insinuated tonight that I was the reason that he was going to attempt, what? That's what I heard. That it would be my fault. That I'm the one that pushed him to that point. And I mean, it's truly what he said. And, you know, look, man, if me making fun of you for trying to contact dead people or who you perceive as dead through a fucking box and you pretend that you're talking to spirits, if that shakes you up so bad and that's enough for you to try to blame me, lay all the bullshit in your life at my feet, you might want to just flick the off button, buddy. I got to tell you, because it's a stretch by a lot and it's bullshit. And I don't feel responsible for anything. Everybody sort of, you know, deals with this. We all get reviewed and critiqued. You know, that you're not going to lay that at my feet. I'm not going to feel bad about that. I don't want anybody to do anything to themselves ever. Him either. Nobody. Doesn't matter. I don't that's not my thing. It's gross. But for him to say that, I mean, come on. Let's pump our brakes a little bit here. And you know, it actually started with Terry Lynn back in, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. She said the same thing. She said, look, if he does something to himself, blood's on you, fat fuck, or something, whatever she said. It's on you, fat fuck, however she talks, you know, I don't know. Something like that. And I was like, what? Well, I'm sure that he was like going, Josh is picking on me. It's not picking, dude. It's not picking. It is me giving you shit about something that I find ridiculous. Boo-hoo. Get over it. No more crying, okay? If that shakes you up that much, me giving you a little bit of shit about your spirit box, and maybe sometimes the way you say sentences that make no sense, it shakes you up that bad, you should log off. Just log off, bro. I don't know. I'm not a Steven expert. I don't know anything about the guy. I don't even talk about his alleged scams that people tell me about. It's just a spirit box. That's really my, you know what? Like, and I don't just, oh, it's okay, Holly. It's a pop up. So let me see here. And I don't want to review him at all. And I'm not going to, but I am going to play for you what he said.
That's what I'm gonna say. I wish I would have learned how to invest in your head like is I
Hold on.
I've had to reevaluate a lot of things. I don't have the emotional maturity me the most. Not even when my dad died. These are just people on the internet. Impulsiveness is.
By the way, I've even asked him if he needed somebody to talk to that I would, you know. But look, I'm still gonna I make fun of the spirit box. Big deal.
I hope I'll be okay. You know, most is something I've always and hurt others. Not that being pushed. He is one of the ones. In all honesty, like going after him. All it takes is that.
All right, here we go. Let's share this. And I'm just going to play. I'm not going to play this whole thing. Mm-mm. Where's PG at? I don't see her. What's up? What's up? We were talking about that. I know you guys are. I saw a little bit of your guys' beef. I don't know much about it, but I was talking about your Bucky's Photoshop. That's one of the funniest things, man. I used to laugh at that all the time, all the time. Kim, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kim, let's see here. Cat Randall, thank you for your. I like our spats too, Cat. We have a good time. That just killed me. Every time I see a Bucky's, I think about that little meme you did, and I just die laughing. Let me fix this shit. Now Daisy's gonna get mad at me. Daisy says hello to all in chat. She did. She said that. Is she live right now?
Being pushed.
Hold on. All right, listen to this.
These people have done, but it's scary because all it takes is that being pushed, and these people have done that.
Can you guys hear it? Let me know if you can hear it. Except two. You can hear, okay. No echo or anything. All right. Listen to this.
You know,
I honestly got a little mad. I don't really get mad about this kind of stuff, but this kind of pissed me off.
There's a lot of shit I could say about Josh the Lab.
Say it. I mean, go ahead.
In all honesty, like going after him for as much as he goes after me, it's pointless, to be honest with you. He is one of the ones that actually pushed it to that point to where 4 weeks ago that I was like, fuck it. I'm like, I don't want to be here. And
I mean, are you serious? No shit. No joke. Wow. Mm. I mean, it's asinine. This was tonight. This was today. He said this today. You believe him what? What is it that you believe of it? You believe that I'm the reason that he wanted to do that? You think that? You believe that? Push too hard. So I pushed too hard by making fun of his spirit box bullshit where he said that he was trying to contact Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, Layla Santinello, and others. I made fun of him for doing that because I thought it was horseshit. And I still think it's horseshit. And I will always think it's horseshit. And I mocked that. But I didn't say one word about his life, his lifestyle. At all. So if you think that I pushed him too far, I never even. People in the chat would say things like they would say things about his family, and I would ignore it, folks. I wouldn't say a word about him, or I wouldn't say a word about his wife, his child, his living situation, anything else that was ever brought up. I never said anything like that. I made fun of some of the stupid shit he said. I didn't even bring up his ship that with Verizon because I don't know anything about it because I don't care. Push too hard. Come on. That's crazy talk. I've heard him say a lot of things about a lot of people. I mean that's a weird thing to say, Steven. And you need to grow up and stop being a little kid about shit like that because that's bullshit. It really is. It's really bullshit. Your spirit box? Yeah, always does. I don't know. I don't know why. Sometimes I wonder why she comes back. I don't know why, to be honest with you. I think she's a fan of Chris's, so sometimes she watches me, but she has a problem with almost everything that I do here and thinks that I pushed Steven too hard while he talked into a speaker box. I mean, come on. I don't feel responsible. For what? Thank you, Cat Randall. I appreciate that. I honestly, I don't feel guilty, but when I heard it, like my face got kind of hot. I was like, really? Appreciate you, Cat. Thank you. Love you too, buddy. But yeah, it's just, I'm not going to get too mad about it or anything and rag on the guy because obviously, I mean, yeah, just listen. I want you to hear that again. Where'd New Zealand go?
Or the mental maturity to be
bounces out. Have you ever noticed that too? Like I push back a little bit. I thought he was in a vulnerable place. And that you pushed too hard. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
able to understand the shit I'm going through. And, I'm going through therapy pretty fucking extensive actually right now. Extensive. And trust me, if I don't call, I'll probably be 51 fucking 50. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things I could say that I hope I'll be okay. I just can't predict tomorrow. I can't predict the next day. What scares me the most is something I've said 100 times. When you're ADHD, you're impulsive. And I've always been impulsive. Most of y'all know that. It's easy to see. Most of y'all know I don't shut the fuck up. I talk a lot. And that impulsiveness is what ultimately can make you make a decision that can hurt others. And I have done it. I have not been successful. But it's scary because all it takes is that being pushed, and these people have done that. You know, there's a lot of shit I could say about Josh the Lab. In all honesty, like going after him for as much as he goes after me, it's pointless. To be honest with you, he is one of the ones that actually pushed it to that point to where 4 weeks ago that I was like, fuck it, I'm like, I don't want to be here. And that's probably the harder part is even when my dad died, it's just repetitive, constant, just back, back, back. And then I've had to take myself and realize like, look, these are just people on the internet that are doing what they do, which is you came online, they're talking about it. You can't get mad because they're online doing that. You give open to when you come online to do that, what the fuck you think's going to happen? It's there for them to critique and criticize. So what the fuck can I do, right? I at the end of the
Yeah, but it's all about the content. It's about the content, Stephen. I mock your content, not your life. I don't mock your life. I don't want it. I don't want to know anything about your. You tell people about it, but I don't want to know anything about it.
day, it's just aggravating, and I've got to understand how to fucking, I guess, tune it out.
I mean, I make fun of your show, what your show's about, like the spirit box. It's not personal. It's never been personal. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. Ever. Matter of fact, I've even said, hey, you know, send me an email or something if you need. But that doesn't mean that I can't make fun of your spirit boxes. I don't like them. That's it. It's not personal. It's just not it's not. It really isn't. I am sympathetic to people that have problems because I have some of my own, and I understand that if me being on or having issues with somebody from a different channel or something would shake me up so much that I would talk about that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be here. And I'm certainly not doing anything worthy of being even accused of something like that. What the frick, dude? It's just, man, you know. So I don't know, man. I always wish him well. I really do. But the thing was that he was saying like, well, you know, my dad died, and then he kept making fun of me. I made fun of a show that you did after your dad had passed away. People make fun of me all the time. Nobody ever asked me what's going on in my life because I don't tell everybody every single thing that's going on in my life. But I also don't care. Like you're allowed. Everybody gets criticized on here. And there's a lot of people that don't like you. And there's a lot of people that don't like me. And there's a lot of people that don't like us. Yeah, I can. I've never, I actually said that I was sorry. And then he did like a spirit box thing. That's true too. I don't. Well, I do bring up the piss test thing because that's funny to me. I just thought that was funny because I just found it ridiculous. I talked about his used gauze. I know. I did. I really did. I know. But I don't know, man. I mean, that's just such a stretch. Such a lame. Like why would you even I'm one okay. I've heard him say similar stuff, not like that exactly, but I've heard him say similar stuff about others. You know, these people ruined my life. And I didn't call his job. I never even talked about his job or his lawsuits or anything. Like, I never talked about any of that stuff. Never. You know, the people that he looks up to, that he likes, and he's fine to like those people. I don't care. But I heard one of those people say the other day, your trauma is not my issue. But guess what? I would never target your trauma. I didn't make fun of your dad. I don't talk about your children. I never would. Yeah, I'm starting to pick up on that. Don said I ruined his life too. And I hate Don. I don't even hate Steven. I don't even dislike the guy. I don't know him. Just from his spirit box stuff. That's it. Where did Ollie and Z go? She didn't want to hear this. She didn't want to hear this part. Why would you watch somebody you think that pushed somebody too far? What is that? It's a weird thing to say, isn't it? He is a grown ass man on social media. Suck it up, Buttercup. That's what I think. But yeah, so I mean, what do you have to say about that? Because I think that you're completely out of line. I think that you're wrong and completely out of line. Making fun of somebody doing spirit boxes is not getting to the point of blaming me for him wanting to do something to himself. You know, come on. Everybody does that everywhere. Yeah, and remember when I didn't blame anybody and say anything about hurting myself publicly to anybody? And by the way, people said way worse things. People dug into my life way more. Way more. Way more. Wasn't even close. Not even close. I like you, Josh. Just didn't like your handling and mocking. I don't think you do like me. How could you? Why would you? I do not misunderstand you. I understand fully. I absolutely understand. You think Hodge has something to do with it? It's just weird, but it is what it is. I'm sorry that he feels that way, but I don't really, it's hard for me to believe that that's really how he feels, honestly. I think he's just saying shit. That's what I think. I think that somebody started that narrative, and he was complaining to White Boy It's like Josh was doing this, and then you know, it's just, it's kind of bullshit, kind of lame. I truly, honestly, truly, I don't think that I was. I really don't. Yeah, but I didn't go at like I've never went after his life ever. I never said a thing. Never said a thing about his family, his wife, his kids or kid. I don't even know how many kids he has because I don't care. I never said, "Oh my god, can you imagine how shitty of a dad he?" If I'd have said shit like that, I would probably I'd feel guilty about that. And I know people do that shit on here, but I don't do that. And I could say, "Oh, I bet he's a shitty husband." I didn't do that either because I don't know if he is or he isn't. I know that he plays with spirit boxes, and I find it humorously annoying. I don't know. That's it. I know he likes to fly drones and shit. And he says dumb stuff sometimes, like how his dog humps tires. Like I find that funny. That's all. That's all I was. Honestly, that's all there was to it. That's all there's ever been to it. You know. That's all there's ever been. It's all it's ever been. Yeah, hate. I mean, come on. Come on. There is real hate. And then there's just like, hey, I can't help if some people don't like him. I mean, he was on, I didn't bring him online. Watching from South Africa. It is morning here, so perfect time for me. Sonia. Appreciate that. Dude. Like, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to like go into it, but it was 100 times worse. Like people wanted to see my demise, and a lot of it was my fault. Not all of it, but I certainly didn't help anything. Learned a lot of stuff and regretted and tried to learn, but it was, bro. I mean, it's not even close. Well, yeah, that's fine. You're allowed to be that way. I just made fun of his spirit box. I mean, that was really all there was. That's it. I didn't think that it was yeah. There's a lot, yeah. Yep. I mean, there was just there was a ton of stuff. I mean, I had somebody go through my old podcast from 10 years ago and pull every single clip from over 100 and something episodes the worst things that they could find and manipulate those things into it meaning, or like, and taking it out of context, or even out of order, and put it out there. And it was like a 2-hour episode. And that happened. And, I got called racist. I got called homophobic. I got called misogynistic. And I can honestly, truly say that I don't feel that I'm any of those things whatsoever. Matter of fact, I think that women are probably much smarter and better for the world than men are. Men are violent by nature, aggressive because of, biology and shit like that. And, I did, yeah, but they happen, look, I used to like, I don't know. Where might we disagree a little bit? Where at? Yeah, it certainly was. And it's still, people's like, that's the attack that always sort of happens. That's where it always goes. It's the same thing 3-4 years now. People bring it up and whatever. That's just something that I sort of have to deal with, it doesn't really bother me anymore, but I guess it obviously it used to. Now I don't care at all, but because it's just the same recite. And the thing is that people add extra to it. There was a whole scenario where somebody said that I sent them razor blades in the mail. I heard White Boy the other day was saying, "Oh, the FBI, this, that." He's a liar. He's a full of shit too. A moron. And that's why when people would tell me about Steven's shit, I'd go, yeah, you know what? That's kind of up to him, because I don't know exactly what's true and what's not. I'm sure some of it is, and I'm sure some of it isn't. Just like all the same stuff with me. Some of it's true, some of it was true, some of it wasn't. And it was a whole thing. Well, yeah, but from like a standpoint of, I'm not saying that women can't be mean to people, but whenever a family breaks up, 99% of the time it's a woman who keeps the family together, minus the man. Women work harder to take care of the family, and they seem to just be, I don't know, like just like I've been through a lot of tragic events and stuff before, and I have always, for some reason, found the women in my family stronger than the men. and not based on crying and that stuff. What I mean is, guys, they hide it. They, whatever. I don't know. They feel a certain way, so they drink or get intoxicated or whatever and never really deal with it. Yeah, it feels manipulative. And but the thing is that I don't feel guilty because I didn't do anything, you know. I do feel bad when somebody is in a bad place in life. I understand it. And it sucks when that happens, but no, I absolutely do not feel in any way, shape, or form responsible for that. I just don't do it all the time. Exactly. And so when I would get called like misogynistic or a woman hater, which is crazy, based on clips from, a podcast that like I've been podcasting for 10 years. And I used to say a lot of stuff, especially when I was younger, like constantly. There's just, and it's just that's just how it is. Like, was it fair? No. Was it easy to deal with? No. Because there were a lot of people that said, "Wow, do you really feel that way?" Or you made a joke about this, or you said that, and it was just very weirdly put out. I remember once talking about an Olympic, like the Olympic Village, where they were handing out a bunch of condoms to the Olympic Village, but they were telling people not to sleep with each other, during the Olympics, but to take them home. And I said something about, I said, well, what are they going to do? Go take all those condoms and sign up for Athlete for a Day at a local school and like explain to them, explain to the kid or the class why, they came home with all it was just such a weird story that I was talking about. Well, somebody, they tried to turn it into that I said that something about giving condoms to kids or something like that. I don't exactly remember the context that they tried to use it in, but that's sort of where it went. And I was just like, it's mental. I'd never say anything like that. Yeah. It's very manipulative. And so I don't know what he's crying about, to be honest with you. I'm sure he has problems. We all do. I'm sure nobody likes to get, tweaked a little, but I thought it was just I think the spirit box thing's dumb. Fine, but he's allowed to do it. I'm allowed to think it's dumb. I'm allowed to make fun of it. So whatever. We're all responsible for ourselves. I expressed concern for him too. But I didn't think saying something about like making fun of his spirit box was going to put him into a catatonic state. But that's the only thing that I ever went after him about. That's it. I've been way worse to T-Rev because I think personally T-Rev is bad for the world. I truly think that. I didn't say that about Steven, and I won't say that because I don't think that's fair. Because I don't feel that way. Maybe if I felt that way, I'd say it, but I don't. But I mean, you know, you're gonna miss me with that bully bullshit. I know who you hang out with, bro. So you can fuck right off. In all honesty. Yeah, and people got mad at me for that too. There's not a lot of winning going on here. Not a lot of winning, you know. You what is it that what's the saying? The um can't lose for winning and you can't win for losing. And yeah, I agree, Mon. And I saw your message, you know. Yeah, look, I if I know of somebody that's going through something, I honestly try to check in. I can't with everybody, but I wish that I could. Um, you know, I do. I really wish I could, but I try. I try to, and you know, I don't know. I'm not a mean spirited person by nature. I mean, I can be mean, no question about it. Can and will be if necessary. But that's what I'm saying. That's all. And Ollie, I'm telling you that I'm not sure what else that, you know, I went after him for, but, you know, you can't win them all, nor can you try, nor have I tried. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. What are we at here? What are we at? 103. What is it? What are we at? 1 in the morning here? What time is it? I know it's a 1:15. 1:15 in the morning. Wow. I don't need to hear anything. I'm just telling you that if you agree with me about the spirit box stuff, then you would agree that that's what I talked about. I don't need to hear anything other than, like you said, you agreed with me. Giving you crap is one thing. Blaming you for pushing themselves to self-harm is a whole different level. It's manipulative, and he owes you an apology you'll never get, but it's deserved. Yeah, you know what? I don't even want one. I don't even want one. I was waiting for 100 likes. Well, we're climbing there, so we're at like over, I don't know how many now. You can't tell. Thank you for supporting the channel. Welcome new members. Yes, very much. I know. I've been called the worst was it the worst person ever? One of the worst people ever? I think I've been called that. And I don't accept that either because I'm certainly not. compared to like somebody like OJ or my dad, I'm all right. I mean, I'm not looking to hurt nobody at all for any reason whatsoever on the planet. That's right. That is right. Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Holly, thank you so much. Very generous. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm the worst person ever. Shady, are you still here? Shady's clipping this right now. I already know. And I'm rightfully so. I mean, it's rightfully so. Yeah, I'm not gonna wrestle Ernie. And again, even with Ernie, you know, when I say, you know, I don't say these things in like a hateful way. I really don't. I said what I said about him, and then you come back with I'm gonna punch you in the face, and it's just like, oh, okay, here we go. Like, it's about the content. It's what we do. I didn't like it. Big deal. It's not true. I'm not gay, but if I was, it'd be all right. I still have the list. I'll never get rid of that list. I need that list in my life. Jazz. Look, man, everything compared to the stuff that I've been through in real life, most of the online stuff is feckless. It really is, Um, I don't, I don't wake up in the morning and turn on YouTube ever or social media. I start my day different now. It's been that way for some time. And I wake up and I read a little in the morning and spend, kind of the quiet hours. Just, I try to read some scripture and I take the dogs out and sort of walk the perimeter of the fence. And I've been more into like paying attention to details. Like when I see I don't like birds, but I think they're pretty, but I don't like them personally at all. But I think they're very pretty. And so what I do is I try to look and see, oh, like there's that, or there's that. And I try to start it with as little noise pollution as possible. I really try to do that, and it helps. It certainly helps, and spending time just not being in a hurry, So look, like, if you got things to do, you got to get up a little early to do it. And I've always been one of those people that even though I go to bed late, I get up early. And I don't particularly sleep a whole bunch for my own reasons. I have some problems sleeping sometimes, and that's a fact. And landscapers ruin mornings once a week. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just, it's not the first thing that I'm like going on. If going on Twitter at 7 a.m. is diabolical. Watching the news that early is crazy to me. I could not handle living like that. Just hearing like I don't want to get up in the morning. The first thing I hear is like, oh, like this. Can you believe what this person did to this person? Or it's just like holy shit. My God. Especially when you have other people that you care for, you got to take care of on your own. Going on Twitter and watching the news is like intentionally stubbing a toe. I don't do either. It's not always fun. That's for sure. That is absolute fact. And so, I don't know. I guess I just see things differently. And I don't see what I was doing as intentionally trying to hurt somebody or trying to get somebody to intentionally hurt themselves. That's not true. It's just not. And like I said, I will not allow that to be laid at my feet. I don't know how old he is, but he had his issues far before I ever knew of him and his spirit box. And it's a ridiculous thing to suggest. I mean, it really is. Dude, Fountain, my brother-in-law, he had a fountain when this was when I was dating his sister. He was obsessed with that fountain, man. He just loved it. And then one day he shut the door on me when I was trying to carry a bunch of chairs in up some stairs, and I was like, "Yeah, leave that door open." He shut it on purpose, and then I dropped a bunch of the chairs and fell down. So that morning I put just as much soap as I could in his fountain, like his little tranquility fountain. And the whole room filled up with bubbles. It was a bit, I didn't think that it was going to do that, but it did. And yeah, it was a mess. No, it was, everybody knew who did it. It's hard to deny something after you've had an incident with somebody and you go, I'm going to get you back. You better keep an eye on your stupid water fountain. It's like, my water fountain? I go, yeah, your water fountain. What are you going to do to my water fountain? We'll see. And that's what I do. It's kind of like It's like an admission of guilt. It's like premeditated. Mm. Nah. I have like some Polaroid somewhere. Like my sister, I can't remember what she did, but I told her, I said, well, I'm going to get you back. And she had her wisdom teeth pulled. And so she was like knocked out in the chair in the living room. And I put some peanut butter on her forehead. I let the dog lick it off her forehead while she was like passed out. I took a picture of it. And I told her I was probably like 11. I told her I was going to show everybody. It got confiscated, and I was no longer allowed to play with the Polaroid camera for years to come. So that was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I thought it was a good comeback. Nothing good in the news anyway. That's true. And Rochelle, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thanks for always us keeping it real, Josh. Remember how much you are loved and respected. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. No, I got you. I got you. Are you typing on a phone? Kelly K, what's happening? If you're typing on a phone, it makes sense. Yeah, can you believe they took the Polaroid camera away from me? They said I was a menace. Yeah, I had a friend who was absolutely insane. He was my best friend. He was the craziest person you'd ever met. And he would mess with everybody. The only reason that him and I became friends was because when he tried to mess with me, I punched him. He tried to squirt an orange up my nose while I was sleeping at it, like this, I don't know what it was. It was some stupid camp thing. And, he had a reputation for just being just a prick. And that's what he was. And he squirted an orange up my nose. And I remember waking up, because it hurt, it stung. And I sat up and he's like looking at me with kind of like a smirk on his face, like he's like waiting for a reaction. I punched him right in the nose. Started bleeding. He's like, I can't believe he punched me. I can't believe he squirted a friggin' orange up my nose. What am I supposed to do? I mean, that was my first reaction. So anyway, I think he figured out like, yeah, I can't really mess with him. So I might as well become his friend. And we did become friends, but he was just a pain in the ass. Just like, it was, we were always getting into like trouble, stupid. You could hit him, trust me. You would like that. Yeah, his name was Chris, and he was I told the story about the person that I gave that weed to as a kid. That was him. Ray, right? But yeah, I don't know. He was just a pain in the ass to people, and then he grew. It's funny because now, and I still know him, and I see him sometimes at like, yeah, because we're friends with the family still, his parents, and like the most normal dude ever. Went from like just a raging lunatic to, yeah, chocolate on the hand would have been okay. The reaction came from the burning and not knowing what happened. So I thought I would just get my licks in, before. All right. Are you guys ready to see your first little glimpse of the guy, the gas station guy. You guys ready for this? Because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. You ready for it? That's funny shit. Okay, hold on. Let me get some. What the? Like I said, this is just the first glimpse. Are you ready? I can't really show you his face. I mean, I guess I could. Oh God. I said that's the first that's the first glimpse. I don't know what he's doing. But that was me in the back of the store hiding. I took that picture in the back of the store. He has a handsome back. What the I don't know what he was doing. Probably smoking his vape. Oh no, but I will put that up tomorrow. That's it. I honestly have no idea what he was doing. I'm sure he had work to do. But yeah, he has really curly hair. This is just the first one. Maybe next time that I'll get a side profile. But yeah, this is the guy that has hit on me several times. Once right in front of my own son. It was so out of like the ordinary, and it was so obvious that when Peyton and I left the store, we didn't say a word to each other. And I still, for some reason, don't know why Peyton got in the back seat. He was just like, I can't sit up front with you right now. I go, why? Just, I don't know. It's like, I need you to respect it. It's like, all right. It is. I still don't understand. I don't understand him getting in the back seat. He still can't explain it to me. Maybe. That's all right though. The store is useless to me now because it doesn't sell hot dogs. I can go to any other gas station now. I'm not beholden to this one, although the proximity makes it a much more appealing destination. I'm not 100% sure, but he could be sorting out like perks or something. I don't know. Maybe. That's true. That's a good point. No, I had, just not from him. Yeah. Well, basically the story was that like he was sort of chasing me around the store. Like, hey, how you doing? And at first I was like, does this guy think I'm trying to steal? And then it was obvious that he was just trying to hang and talk, and like complimented like my hat or something. I can't remember exactly, but that's when we went up to the counter. We went up to the counter and he goes, "You want a bag?" And I said, "No, I'm fine." And he goes, "Yes, you are." And then Peyton and I looked at each other, and I paid, and then we left. And then that's when Peyton got in the back seat. And I didn't question it at first, and we were driving off, and I said, "Peyton, why are you in the back seat?" And he says, "This is where I need to be. Don't give me a hard time." And the rest of the car ride home, nobody talked. You know. So it was flattering. It was flattering. I think I asked him once before. He didn't have an explanation. I'm sure he's in bed. He goes to bed kind of, well, not early, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could ask him tomorrow or something. Like, "Hey, Peyton, what was up with the back seat, dude?" It did. And you know what? To be honest with you, it felt right for me too. Like I didn't know why he sat back there, but it 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 matched up. You feel me, Cat Randall? You know, Cat knows. It was a safe spot. It's just like, I don't know what happened, but I need to be back here. I don't know if he was fine or not. I don't. I'm not sure. Probably. I'm sure he looks fine. He looks cool. It's backseat PTSD. Yeah, he does. Doesn't he look like he's like? He looks like he's prowling, huh? It's like kind of like Bigfoot or something. I don't know what the hell's going on there. He's a nice guy. I just, I don't want to go out with, or whatever. I don't know. He never asked me out, but yeah. So then when we get back to the house, I said to Peyton, I said, "Did you hear that?" And he goes, "Yep." And then he gets out of the car. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. He said, "Yep." He does. He looks prowly, doesn't he? No. I don't want to. I don't want to marry into the guy's family either. What? Did you marry him? Marsha says, "I had a gas station guy propose to me once." Once. I don't get the once thing. It has been. I mean, it's never been brought up again. That was also the night that Peyton bought a $40 bag of jerky that I had to buy. Drive safe, Mary. It's good to thank you for being here. You never know where you're going to find love. That's for sure. Haven't we all? I don't think so. Nah, he didn't trust me. He didn't see me. Not a chance. He did not see me. Yeah, I know. GS guy, baby. GS guy. He's just there, you know. I mean, he just does his thing. Mary, thank you for gifting 5 Lab After Dark memberships. Very kind of you. It's getting so hot in this room. It's getting hot in here. So hot. Yeah, marriage is out of the question. Marriage is definitely out of the question. Like, there's no way. I mean, I needed to document him for everybody. Check this out, though. So this is bullshit. Kelly, member for 9 months. Thank you so much. Dude, look at this. I have a feeling that the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers has heard this pocket rib story before, because this guy just stole my shine. How do I take this thing? All right. No more him. Pat Murphy followed up a viral pocket pancake interview with pocket quesadilla. So this guy, the coach, has been putting food into his pocket.
It's a real hot team, and they've proven that they can score and they can beat anybody. They're at their end of their season. They got a lot of veterans. We got to work it out for us.
Is that a quesadilla, Pat?
It is.
Quesadilla during the game. No pancake.
A lot of problems last time. You caused me a lot of problems.
So we're. I would love a fight. Pat, we have a gift for you too. You gave me a pancake last time. It was way too dry, so we got you some authentic Wisconsin maple syrup from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. You won't use it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for the quesadilla, Pat.
I might put it on the quesadilla.
Do it.
Come out.
Did you hear that? Like, Tupac just started playing.
Quesadilla with syrup from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. There you guys go. Quesadilla with syrup from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. There you guys go.
I can't. It's a real hot.
Like, I don't know. He don't. Yeah, that's right. He don't deny it. He don't deny it. No, he has the food in his pocket, which is kind of cool because I've done that as well. Yes, they put syrup on a quesadilla. This is the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the better teams in baseball. Oh, she did. That's right. No, she did. She had syrup. Did Savannah Bananas are my favorite? Did that lady just pull a bottle of syrup out of her dress? I don't know where it came from. Let's take a look.
Team, and they've proven that
quesadilla,
I
Pat.
might put it on the quesadilla.
You won't use it. Authentic for you too. I would love a bite.
It is.
Quesadilla during the game. No
A lot
pancake.
of problems last time. You caused me a lot of problems. You
So
want a
we're.
bite of this?
I would love a bite.
They're at their end of their season. They got a lot of veterans. We got to work it out for us.
Is that a quesadilla, Pat?
It is.
Quesadilla during the game. No
A
pancake.
lot of problems last time. You caused me a lot of problems. You
So
want a
we're.
bite of this?
I would love a bite. Pat, we have a gift.
I think she just had it in her hands. Interesting, huh? Well, good for him. I don't know where the syrup came from. I have no clue. How do I get
For you too.
how do I get out of that now? You caused me a lot of problems last time because apparently you want to bite a bite of this. They have the best. See, this is what I'm saying. They have the best record in baseball. Yeah. Because I remember one time I was talking about putting hot dogs in my pocket and I called them pocket dogs. And then, the pocket ribs. So I don't know. Maybe it's just catching on. Maybe it's just like brilliant people, like super handsome, successful, well spoken, getting hit on by gas station attendants. People are now sort of focusing on maybe pockets aren't just for wallets and change and keys. Maybe we can hold nutrition, energy, calories in our pockets till we need them. Like, who says that you have to have a plate? Overrated. Plates are overrated. Who says that you can't just sit down on the ground and have like a fillet o fish or fish fillet or whatever? I don't know. I hate fish, but some of you guys like it. Like chicken nuggets fit perfectly in a pocket. So I don't think it's all that ridiculous. Tater Tot Smush. He was ahead of his time, but he just didn't have it down. Yeah, if you need pocket liners, fine, but you're just gonna wash your clothes, aren't you? So why would you need that? You don't. Or man purse. Nah, you're taking on extra stuff. We're trying to keep the same amount of stuff, like, and incorporate food into the pockets. And it seems as though that I've started a fad. Is that a sausage in your pocket? That's funny. Is that a sausage in your pocket? Actually, it is. Yeah. A taco pocket. Yeah, exactly. Wayner's taco pocket. Hold on. Let me check my folder really quick. See what I got here. It's hot as balls in here, man. See? Get a Merce. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. I think. Sorry. No, I have not seen the newest Bad Boys for Life movie. Is that number 3? Is that what that is? It's the wiener talk that binds us. Draw the line at chimichanga. It will be. Who's Justin? Pearls? I would assume he's at his house. I don't know. He don't talk to me. He never talks to me. Just kidding. He does. I think he was in here the other day. But why Justin? What did he do? I don't know. He's online. Like he does at least a show a day. Lab After Dark Confessions has entered the chat. Yeah, but you can't put stuff like cheesecake in your. That's just not a food that's going to be conducive to the use of pockets. It's just not going to happen. I wish that it could, but it won't. He doesn't like me anymore. Thinks I'm a douche. He goes, I don't like you. You're a douche. Nah, ribs really aren't, but you got to push the limit somehow. Does it have a limit? Yeah. You did? You heard him say that I'm a prick? Me too, actually. He said, I don't like that guy. Do it. Text him. I don't care. Tell him I don't like him either. Say, hey, lipstick boy. How come you never get back to me in a timely fashion? Why am I not on your favorites? Huh? Ask him that. Matter of fact, why don't you call him and wake him up? Tell him to call the show. Be like, hey, Jesse, what you doing, boy? How come you don't like Joshy no mo? Who's here? You see, pocket soup's not going to work either. You can't. You have to have some limits, you know. Well, I don't care. He needs to wake up. It's Bad Boys 4. Okay, I will watch. What is that on? What is it on a certain streaming service? Because I have a couple, but I don't know. I'm really trying to cut down on my streaming service. The first 10 minutes I tried to clip it for you, but copyright BS. You should give it 10 minutes, even though it sucks. I doubt it. I mean, you saw it on Netflix? All right. I'll check it out. He's sick and he has a lot of driving to do today. That's a bad combination. And I do feel bad for him. My sympathies. Well, Bad Boys 2, I remember watching that in the theater. and that was a long time ago, but that movie was so good. Bad Boys 2. The first Bad Boys and Bad Boy. I haven't seen the third one or the fourth one, but the first and second one were like killer. Absolutely killer. And thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. They were so good. So good. So good. So good. Can you believe Macho almost took down the whole organization last night? Just ripping cords out. You'll get it. I'm gonna watch. I should watch the third one too, but are you out, Cat? All right, fair enough. I have no problem. I like you really that's so wild to me because okay. Hold on, I got to go back and check that from yesterday. Okay, so this is it right here. So this is yesterday. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. All right, where is he? Where is he? Well, no, last night, when I was holding him, here, and I went to put him. Don't you fall down. Don't you fall down. Watch this. He was pissed. He tried to jump. First, I don't know why. What's up? All right, here we go. Fall down. Like he got really pissed off too. Say hi. Here. Don't you fall down. Don't you fall down. Did you hear him? And I said, stop. And then he just dumped the whole table. Hi. He was so mad at me. Say hi. Here. Don't you fall down. Don't you fall down. And then everything just went, look. Down. Say hi. Here. Don't you fall down. I certainly did not. I put him down nicely. Don't you fall down. Wow. My headphones were all messed up. If I would have thrown him, it probably would have saved dumping stuff, but he's an old little guy. He was very pissed off. Because I'm not sure, for some reason. Don't you fall down. Say hi. Here. He tried to jump on. He never does that. Don't you fall down. Don't you fall down. Yes, everybody treats me this way. Now look at my headphones when I come back. Watch. That's the look of defeat right there, guys. That is a defeated man. No, what you heard go kaplunk was my board. That's why he didn't go kaplunk. My board went kaplunk. Because his little arm was wrapped in the headphones, which are plugged into the back. And as I was putting him down, he was like trying to run. And so he did. And then it got bad. And then remember the sound was out. Let me. You probably like nasty. These people go out here. What? Pale ale. I have my. Here. Say hi. See this whole interaction. Watch. Did you say hi? Hey. Hi, Boba. Yes, it was. What are you doing? What are you do? Say hi to everybody. Say, Macho, look right here. Say hi. He's very cute and very cuddly. Very sweet. Yes, you are. Now he's being shy. No, the whole thing came crashing down. Just say hi to the people. And we can get back to this. His snorts are so
wants
funny.
to fall asleep. Are you falling asleep, really? Are you really falling asleep? What's that? See his ears? What's that?
It just goes from like, yeah, he's a.
Hey, can you let go? It's very heavy. Okay.
Here we go. Look. Here it is.
Okay.
Oh no, he hangs for a while.
So apparently he's not willing to get down. I just told him, hey, I love my Brita pitcher. It's a game changer. Yeah, he's a French bulldog, him and his.
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes. It took me a while to fix it.
What are you doing there, buddy? Say hi. Are you going to say? He's French. Oui, oui. Hey, are you going to say hi to everybody again? Can I put you down? Because he's so heavy, dude. He really is. It's just like a little sack of meat and cheese. He likes this, though. He'll fall asleep if you pat him like this.
Where did I go wrong in life?
Everybody's saying hi, Macho. You're interrupting, huh?
Where did I go wrong?
Hi. Say hi. Here. Don't you fall down. Don't you fall down.
Well, you
You know, that's what we called the showstopper. Damn, boy. He was pissed. Poor little dude. He did. He tried, like, it was weird. He's never done that before, where he tried to actually jump out of my arms. I don't know what happened. I think he was looking at Otis or something. Look, and then you can see, look. You can see Otis back here. No, he did. He tried to jump. I know. The whole situation just got bad. Well, let's see.
Well, you
Fall down.
well, you
Yeah, there it is. What a time. Just defeated, too. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Lab After Dark
Guys, have a good night.
is starting shortly.
Sorry, Steven. I hope you feel better. Thank you. Love you too. Hey, make sure, and thank you, Holly, that tomorrow you need to tune in to Call-In Show with Dr. Gary and I. That'll be a good time. Cat, thank you, brother. Happy rap. Good to see you.
Lab After Dark is starting soon.
Woodstock 64. Have a good night. Thanks for being here, guys. 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern. And if you guys stay after tonight, in celebration of my video 1 hour at Columbine, which is ironically 45 minutes, hitting 700,000 views. I plan to play it. I'm going to play it right after this. It took me... This particular one took a month. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It was from a couple of years ago. I'm going to put it on right now. In the middle upper-class suburbs of Middleton, Colorado, just outside Denver, a young man's psychotic and sick fantasies are taking shape inside of his head. They're manifesting themselves into reality. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold would make sure to take their place in history by committing, at the time, the most violent school shooting on record. This is 1 Hour at Columbine. Columbine High School opened in 1973 with a capacity for 1,600 students. It was named after the surrounding community of Columbine, which in turn was named after the state flower of Columbine. Eric Harris's family moved from state to state, city to city before Eric reached high school, ultimately settling in Littleton, Colorado in 1993. Eric was 12. His brother Kevin was 3 years his senior. The Harrises were a middle-class military family, nomads for years. Rootlessness was a problem for Eric, and he wrote about it in his school papers. It angered him. He felt alone and lost. Later, in his journals, he'd write extensively about not fitting in.
My doctor wants to put me on medication to stop thinking about so many things and to stop getting angry. Well, I think that anyone who doesn't think like me is just bullshitting themselves. Try it sometime if you think you are worthy, which you probably will, you little shits. Drop all your beliefs and views and ideas that have been burned into your head and try to think about why you are here. But I bet most of you fuckers can't even think that deep. So this is why you must die. How dare you think that you and I are a part of the same species when we are so different? You aren't human. You are a robot. You don't take advantage of the capabilities given to you at birth. You just drop them and hop on the boat and head down the stream of life with all the other fuckers of your time. Well, God damn it, I won't be a part of it. I have thought too much, realized too much, found out too much, and I am too self-aware to just stop what I am thinking and go back to society because what I do and think isn't right or morally accepted. No, no, no. God fucking damn it, no. I will sooner die than betray my thoughts. But before I leave this worthless place, I will kill whoever I deem unfit for anything at all. And if you've pissed me off in the past, you will die if I see you. Because you might be able to piss off others and have it eventually blow over, but not me. I don't forget people who have wronged me.
Dylan Klebold was a child of upper-middle-class parents, considered gifted in grammar school. But he didn't feel like he fit in at Columbine. He and his friend Eric Harris developed a hatred of the school, and on April 20th, 1999, they brought guns and pipe bombs to murder as many students as they could. And they killed 13 people and injured 20 before committing suicide. Klebold was born on September 11th, 1981 in Lakewood, California. His father was a geophysicist and his mother worked with the disabled. His parents eventually started their own real estate management company and provided an upper middle class life for their family. Intelligent, Klebold was in a program for gifted students at his elementary school. He was described as a shy child who loved baseball, especially the Boston Red Sox. By ninth grade, he was friends with Harris and Brooks Brown, and like many teenagers, he liked violent video games. Klebold also enjoyed bowling and worked behind the scenes for school productions as a sound man. And with Harris, he worked at a local pizza place for a time. Klebold agreed with Harris that the two were superior beings, more highly evolved than everyone else, but his private journal showed a much more vulnerable, self-loathing, and suicidal teen. But Klebold had serious anger issues tied to his self-described lifetime of harassment by his peers and even his family, all of which is well documented.
Life is no fun without a little death. I don't fit in here. Thinking of suicide gives me hope. That I'll be in my place wherever I go after this life. That I'll finally not be at war with myself and the world and the universe. My mind, body, everywhere, everything at peace in me. my soul. And the routine is still monotonous. Go to school, be scared and nervous, hoping that people can accept me and that I can accept them.
If there's a theme in Klebold's journal, it's that he's deeply unhappy, suicidal, and eventually homicidal as he feels abandoned and wronged. He was in love. His journal pages include many filled with hearts and the name of a girl with whom he was deeply in love. Pages and pages devoted to this girl and his obsession with her. He wrote notes to her, poems, declarations of love. But those feelings were not returned because, as he wrote, she did not know him.
Oh God, I want to die so bad. Such a sad, desolate, lonely, unsalvageable I feel I am. Not fair. Not fair. I wanted happiness. I never got it.
As a quiet teen interested in technology, Klebold didn't fit in with the dominant jock culture of Columbine High School. He developed a hatred of the school, a sentiment shared by Harris. The two adopted the style of the school's outcast clique, the trenchcoat mafia, wearing long coats, dark clothing, and looking unkempt. And even though Klebold was bright, he didn't apply himself in school and he earned just mediocre grades. On the cover of Klebold's 1997 journal is written,
Fact. People are so unaware. Well, ignorance is bliss, I guess. That would explain my depression.
Klebold began his journal on March 31st, 1997, during a point he described as a weird time, weird life, and a weird existence. He described not fitting in, being depressed, and generally hating his existence and hating his life. And he talked about suicide. In another entry in 1997, he wrote,
I swear, like I'm an outcast, and everyone is conspiring against me.
Klebold and Harris became interested in all things German, wore swastikas, and even give the Heil Hitler salute while bowling or playing card games. They also liked to play violent first-person shooter games. In 1998, during their junior year, the two were arrested after they broke into a van and stole some things out of the vehicle. They were both charged with theft, criminal mischief, and criminal trespassing. And since it was their first offense, they were enrolled in a diversion program which consisted of community service and counseling. They were released a month early from the program in February 1999, both receiving glowing reports at the end of the program, with Klebold being called a bright young man who has a great deal of potential. But their journals showed a much different attitude. This is from the journal of Eric Harris.
Keep this in mind. I want to burn the world. I want to kill everyone, except about 5 people, who I will name later. So if you are reading this, you are lucky you escaped my rampage because I wanted to kill you. It will be very tricky getting all of our supplies, explosives, weaponry, ammo, and then hiding it all, and then actually planting it all so we can achieve our goal. But if we get busted at any time, we start killing then and there.
Back in 1997, Klebold wrote that he wanted to die. He mentioned getting someone to buy him a gun so he could kill himself. In November of 1997, Klebold describes getting a gun and then going on a rampage and a killing spree. In Klebold's 1997-1998 academic day planner are what appears to be random thoughts and poems. One entry simply said,
The lonely man strikes with absolute rage.
In April of 1998, at the end of their junior year, Harris and Klebold received their copies of the Columbine High School 1998 yearbook. A full year before their rampage, Klebold made 4 entries in Harris's book. One such entry referred to the holy April morning of NBK. NBK stood for Natural Born Killers, a movie Eric and Dylan admired. Another entry says in part,
Killing enemies, blowing up stuff, killing cops. My wrath for January's incident will be godlike, not to mention our revenge in the commons.
The January incident Klebold referred to is believed to be his arrest for breaking into a vehicle on January 30th, 1998. The Columbine cafeteria is also referred to as the Commons. In Klebold's notebook, along with his math homework, were 8 pages of writings and drawings that appeared to be written the day before April 20th. One part began,
About 26 and a half hours from now, the judgment will begin. Difficult, but not impossible. Necessary, nerve-wracking, and fun. What's fun without a little death? It's interesting. When I'm in my human form, knowing I'm gonna die, everything has a touch of triviality to it.
On March 18th, 1998, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office took a suspicious incident report from Randy Brown, stating that his son, Brooks Brown, had received death threats from Harris. These threats were reported to have been contained in Harris's webpage. On his web pages, Harris also allegedly wrote about making and detonating pipe bombs and using them against people. Brown requested that his son's family remain anonymous in making the report for fear of retribution, particularly to his son. The information was reviewed by the sheriff's investigators. However, Harris's webpage could not be accessed, nor could reports of pipe bomb detonations be substantiated. Because of Brown's request to remain anonymous, Klebold and Harris were not contacted. Further investigation was initiated, but no additional information developed. And because of the routine nature of the report and investigation, the former Jefferson County Sheriff Ronald Beckman was not informed of the report at the time. The district attorney, subsequent to April 20th, was provided with information from Harris's webpage. After reviewing the report, the DA offered the opinion that based on the information in the report to law enforcement, there would have been insufficient basis to legally support a request to obtain search or arrest warrants. Harris and Brooks Brown later reconciled their friendship, and on April 20th, 1999, Harris allegedly told Brown immediately prior to the shootings to leave the school because he, quote, liked him. During the spring of 1998, Harris began his journal, and he wrote about how much he hated mankind and how much he loved his rage. Harris also wrote about how much he hated the world and his belief that he and V, Dylan Klebold, were different because they had self-awareness. Harris also talked about his choices and the fact that he chose to kill. He went on to say,
It's my fault, not my parents, not my brother, not my friends, not my favorite band, not computer games, and not the media. It's mine. I'm full of hate, and I love it.
There was one journal entry in 1999, and in it, Harris evaluated his and Klebold's preparation to include their weapons and bombs. He ended by writing,
I hate you people for leaving me out of so many fun things.
In December 1998, Harris wrote that he would have been a good Marine, that it would have given him a reason to be good. Whether Harris truly wanted to be a Marine or if he used this as an excuse to avoid planning for a future he never would have is unknown. Harris did apply for enlistment in the Marine Corps, but the medication he was taking disqualified him. In Klebold's 1998 yearbook, a year before they went into their rampage, Harris wrote,
God, I can't wait until they die. I can taste the blood now. You know what I hate? Mankind. Kill everything. Kill everything.
Harris also drew a gunman standing amongst a sea of dead bodies with a caption,
The only reason you're still alive is because someone has decided to let you live.
Harris also wrote in his own 1998 yearbook. He wrote on photographs of almost every student words such as worthless, die, and beat. As he continued through the yearbook, he simply put an X to those students who he did not like. Very few photos were not marked. In Harris's 1998-1999 academic day planner were lists of things that they had to buy and things left to do. On the page for Mother's Day of 1999, Harris wrote,
Good wombs have borne bad sons.
An undated piece of notebook paper was recovered showing a diagram of the Columbine High School cafeteria just prior to and during the first lunch period. Just as Klebold had written an itinerary for April 20th, Harris had one as well. On a piece of paper from his day planner, he recorded the plans for the day. Harris confirms that he'd been planning mass murder for a year before April 20th, 1999.
Sometime in April next year, me and V will get revenge and kick natural selection up a few notches. If we've learned the art of making time bombs, we'll set hundreds of them around roads, bridges, buildings, gas stations, anything that will cause damage and chaos. It will be like the LA riots, Oklahoma bombing, World War II, Vietnam, Duke, and Doom all mixed together. I want to leave a lasting impression on the world.
April 20th, 1999, 11:10 a.m. On the last day of his life, Eric Harris arrives alone at the student parking lot at Columbine High School and parks his 1986 gray Honda Civic in a space assigned to another student in the South Junior parking lot. Dylan Klebold subsequently arrives at the high school student parking lot alone in his 1982 black BMW. He parks in a space assigned to another student in the Southwest Senior parking lot. Klebold and Harris's cars flank the school's cafeteria and exits and entrances into the lower level. Harris speaks to one student briefly outside the west entrance of the school. According to the student, Harris tells him to leave the school because he, quote, likes him. Shortly thereafter, the same student is seen by witnesses walking south on Pierce Street away from the area. This student is the only person Harris and Klebold direct away from the school grounds moments before the killings begin. 11:14 a.m. Between 11:14 a.m. and 11:22 a.m., Harris and Klebold leave their cars and walk into the school's cafeteria, carrying 2 large duffel bags containing enough explosive power to kill the majority of students who would soon be arriving for Lunch A. The gunman placed the bags on the floor beside 2 lunch tables and walked back out. Blending in with 400 other backpacks and other bags scattered throughout the cafeteria, the duffel bags concealed 20-pound propane bombs timed to explode at 11:17 a.m. Harris earlier had determined that 11:17 a.m. was the exact time for the high school cafeteria to be packed with the maximum number of students possible. A glimpse into the mindset of Klebold and Harris became clear as investigators realized the extremely short period of time the suspects allowed between the time the bombs were placed in the cafeteria and the time set for them to explode. Basically 3 minutes. Since the cafeteria videotape shows that the bombs were not beside the tables at 11:14 and the bombs were set to detonate at 11:17. In some of Harris's writings, investigators found references to the optimum times during the school day and the location to detonate the bombs in order to kill the greatest number of people. Those notes appear on pieces of scrap paper on corners of his daybook, scribbly little notes written as they sat in the school cafeteria taking count of the number of students in that location at a specific time. The bell announcing the end of class and the passing period for the next class period rang at 11:10 a.m. At 11:10, Harris estimated 270 to 300 people in the cafeteria and makes a note of heavy additions. At 11:11, he counted about 300 to 350 people in the cafeteria. At 11:12 to 11:13, between 350 and 450. He noted that at 11:14 to 11:15, there were over 500 students in the cafeteria. Klebold's last entry into his school notebook gave a chilling timeline for April 20th. Walk in, set bombs at 11:09 for 11:17. Leave. The two apparently determined that 11:17 was the most opportune time to cause the most damage and deaths. The timers on the propane bombs were set for 11:17. Sometime before 11:17, Harris and Klebold placed 2 propane bombs in the cafeteria and went back to the student parking lots to their cars. The belief is that they then would shoot any surviving students who were able to escape the fireball. Bombs in their cars were set to explode after the cafeteria. Because of faulty wiring and poorly constructed devices, the 2 20-pound propane bombs did not detonate, and neither did the bombs in their cars. 11:19 a.m. Jefferson County Dispatch Center receives the first 911 call from a citizen reporting an explosion in a field on the east side of Wadsworth Boulevard between Ken Corral and Chatfield Avenues. The explosion is actually a timed diversionary device. 2 backpacks with pipe bombs, aerosol canisters, and a small propane tank had been placed in a grassy open space 3 miles southwest of Columbine High School. Only the pipe bombs and one of the aerosol containers exploded, but the explosion and subsequent grass fire are enough to get the attention of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and the Littleton Fire Department. The bombs exploding in the field along Wadsworth Boulevard are intended to divert the attention of law enforcement away from what is planned to be a much more devastating scene at the school. Several witnesses identified Harris and Klebold standing together at the top of the west exterior steps, both wearing black trench coats and carrying a backpack and a duffel bag. That location is the highest point on campus and allows them an elevated vantage point of the school's west side, the southwest senior parking lot, and portions of the junior lot, the cafeteria exits and entrances, and the athletic fields to the west. At about 11:19 a.m., a witness hears one of the suspects say, "Go, go." Klebold and Harris then pull their shotguns out of their bags. They already have 9mm semi-automatic weapons hidden under their coats. From their position at the top of the steps, they begin shooting at students in that area. Thus begins what is known as the massacre at Columbine. The first gunshots fired towards the west doors kill Rachel Scott and injure Richard Costellato. Students at Columbine High School. Rachel and Richard had been sitting on the grass eating their lunch outside the school's west upper entrance near the north side of the library. Students Daniel Rothberg, Sean Graves, and Lance Kirkland, having just came outside through a side door at the school cafeteria on their way to the smoker's pit at Clement Park, are hit by gunfire. All 3 fall to the ground. 5 students sitting on the grass to the west of the stairs are shot as they began to run from the melee. Michael Johnson suffers gunshot wounds but is able to reach the outside athletic storage shed where he takes cover with others. Mark Taylor suffers a debilitating gunshot wound and falls to the ground, unable to flee with the others. Klebold goes back down the stairs to the area outside the cafeteria and shoots Daniel again at close range, killing him instantly. He also shoots Lance Kirkland again, this time at close range, but Lance survives. Klebold briefly enters a side entrance to the cafeteria and stands just inside the doorway, perhaps to discover why the propane bombs have not exploded. He then goes back outside and joins Harris at the top of the stairs. Harris shoots down the stairs, hitting Anne-Marie Hochhalter. Anne-Marie is shot multiple times as she stands to run for cover in the cafeteria. Witnesses hear one of the gunmen shout, "This is what we've always wanted to do. This is awesome." From the onset, both suspects are seen lighting and throwing explosive devices onto the roof, into the parking lot, and towards the grassy hillside. 11:21. Deputy Paul Mager, a Jefferson County Sheriff's deputy patrolling the South Jefferson area, is dispatched to the scene of the fire and explosion on Wadsworth Boulevard. 11:23. A 911 call from a Columbine High School student reports a girl injured in the south lower parking lot of the high school. "I think she's paralyzed," the caller tells dispatch. Deputy Mager, on his way to the explosion in the field, is advised of a female down in the south parking lot of Columbine High School. Deputy Gardner, pulling his car into Pierce Street and heading south, the student parking lot, hears the same call, this time coming over the sheriff's radio. Female down in the south parking lot of Columbine High School. He activates his lights and sirens. 11:24. Several of the school's custodial staff and faculty, including teacher William Dave Sanders, are attempting to find out what is happening outside the school cafeteria. Realizing a danger, Sanders and some custodians John Curtis, and Jay Galantine enter the cafeteria and direct students to get down. Students began to hide under the cafeteria tables. Deputy Paul Smoker, a motorcycle patrolman for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, is writing a speeding ticket on West Bowles Avenue, just west of Pierce Street, where he hears dispatch report a female is down in the south lower lot of Columbine High School. Smoker's traffic stop is just north of the school, so he radios dispatch that he is responding to the school. Teacher Patricia Patty Nielsen is working as a hall monitor when she hears a commotion outside the west entrance of the school. She looks outside, seeing two male students with what she thinks are toy guns, and assumes that a school video production is being taped. She is on her way outside to tell the boys to knock it off when one of the gunmen fires into the west entrance, causing glass and metal fragments to spray into the hallway. Nielsen suffers abrasions to her shoulder, forearm, and knee from the fragments. Besides Nielsen is a student, Brian Anderson. Brian had been told by a teacher to get out of the school because of the explosions and commotion. Not realizing where the danger is, he exits through the first set of west doors and is caught between the interior and exterior doors when Harris fires at the doors in front of him, shattering the glass. Brian suffers wounds to his chest from the flying glass fragments. Despite their injuries, Patty Nielsen and Brian are able to flee into the school library, while Harris and Klebold are distracted by the arrival of Deputy Gardner. Gardner has just pulled up on the lower south parking lot of the school with the lights on his patrol car flashing and the siren sounding. As Gardner steps out of his patrol car, Eric Harris turns his attention from shooting into the west doors of the high school to the student parking lot and to the deputy. Gardner, particularly visible in the bright yellow shirt of the community resource officer, is the target of Harris's bullets. Harris fires about 10 shots at the deputy with his rifle before his weapon jams. Gardner fires 4 shots at Harris. Harris spins hard to his right, and Gardner momentarily thinks he has hit him. Seconds later, Harris begins shooting again at the deputy. Harris then turns and enters the school through the west doors. Students in the cafeteria realize the activity occurring outside is more serious than a senior prank. A mass exodus of students is seen on the school surveillance videotape as students escape up the stairs from the cafeteria to the second level. Several students recalled Sanders directing them to safety by telling them to go down the hallway to the east side exits of the school. 11:25. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office dispatch advises that there are possible shots fired at Columbine High School. Attention South units. Possible shots fired at Columbine High School, 6201 South Pierce, possibly in the south lower lot towards the east end. One female is down. Teacher Patty Nielsen, hiding under the front counter in the school library, calls 911 to report shots being fired outside the library. Teacher's 911 call from inside the library reports smoke coming in the doorway. She yells at the students to get on the floor and under the tables. Jefferson County Deputy Scott Taberski and Paul Smoker arrive on the west side of the school and begin the rescue of 2 wounded students lying in the grass near the ball fields. Smoker sees Gardner down the hill to his right holding a service pistol. Gardner yells to Smoker as the gunman, carrying a semi-automatic rifle, appears on the inside of the double doors. Harris, leaning out of a broken window on the set of the double doors into the school, begins shooting a rifle. Smoker fires 3 rounds at him, and the gunman disappears from the window. Smoker continues to hear gunfire from inside the building as more students flee from the school. Student witnesses who entered the north main hallway from the neighboring classroom see Klebold and Harris standing just inside the school's northwest entry doors. Both suspects, they later recalled, are armed with guns. Witnesses see Klebold fire a semi-automatic weapon east towards the students in the main hallway and south down the library hallway. They also hear bullets hitting the lockers and other objects in the hallways as students run for cover. A student in the gym hallway observes Klebold and Harris walking east down North Hallway, both firing weapons, and both are laughing. Student Stephanie Munson and another student walk out of the classroom into the school's north main hallway. As they enter the hallway, they see a teacher and several students running behind them. The teacher yells for the students to run and get out of the building. They both run through the main hallway leading to the school's main entrance on the east side. Stephanie is shot in the ankle, but both are able to escape the building and continue across the street to safety at Leawood Park. A student in the counseling hallway sees students in the north hallway running east through the lobby. Klebold is running behind them, but comes to an abrupt halt near a bank of phones at the entrance to the main lobby. Yet another student on the telephone with her mother glances up to see the sleeve of a black trench coat shooting a Tech 9 towards the main entrance of the school. She drops the phone and hides in a nearby restroom until she can no longer hear any activity in the hallway. The gunman, she assumes, has turned around and gone back the other way. She goes back out to the phone and whispers to her mother to come pick her up, and then escapes through the east doors to the outside. Her mother's cell phone bill shows this call is made between 11:23 and 11:26, and that it lasts over 3 minutes. The student estimates that she talked to her mother on the phone 2 minutes before she sees the gunman. Klebold is last seen running back down the north hall to the west in the direction of the library hallway. Teacher Dave Sanders, still on the second level, turns into the library hallway towards the west entrance and the sound of gunfire. As Sanders passes the entrance to the library, he apparently sees a gunman coming towards him from the north hallway. Sanders turns around and heads back the way he had just came. And just before turning the corner to go east, he is shot. Sanders is able to crawl into the corner of the science hallway, where teacher Richard Long helps him down the hallway into classroom Science 3. A group of students, including 2 Eagle Scouts, Aaron Hansley and Kevin Starkley, gather around him, attending to his injuries and administering first aid. 11:27. Harris and Klebold walk up and down the library hallway, randomly shooting but not injuring anyone. Investigators later scrutinized Nielsen's 911 call made from the library. From the tape, the investigation shows that Harris and Klebold spend almost 3 minutes in the library hallway randomly shooting their weapons and lighting and throwing pipe bombs. They throw 2 pipe bombs in the hallway and more over the stairway, rolling to the lower level. A pipe bomb is thrown into the stairwell from the library hallway and lands in the cafeteria below. Teacher Patty Nielsen, hiding under the front counter just inside the library entrance, continues her phone contact with the Jefferson County Dispatch. Nielsen reacts to the sounds of gunshots and explosions coming from the hallway outside the library. Interspersed with short conversations with the dispatcher, she screams at the students in the library to get under the tables and stay hidden. She then reports that the gunman is just outside the library entrance. Some witnesses reported hearing one of them yell, "Everybody with a white baseball cap or baseball cap, stand up." Others reported hearing, "All jocks stand up. We'll get the guys in the white hats." When no one stood up, a witness heard one of the gunmen say, "Fine, I'll start shooting." Harris fired a shotgun round down the length of the counter. Evan Todd, crouched behind one of the copiers, was injured by flying wood splinters. The gunman then walked through the library towards the west windows. Student Kyle Velasquez was the only student not hiding under a desk or a table. Instead, he was sitting at the north computer table and was shot by Klebold as he walked by him to the windows. Kyle Velasquez died instantly. Harris and Klebold set down their backpacks filled with ammunition and Molotov cocktails on one of the computer tables and approached the library windows. Harris was down on one knee, shooting out the west library towards law enforcement officers and fleeing students. Klebold subsequently positioned himself next to Harris and fired out the window as well. At this point, Klebold took off his trench coat And at this point, teacher Patricia Nielsen, who had initiated the 911 call from the library, dropped the phone and no further communication is heard. Klebold shot table 15, hitting Daniel Steepleton, Mackay Hall, and Patrick Ireland. As Ireland was attempting to administer first aid, he was shot again. Meanwhile, Harris killed Stephen Curnow, hiding under the south computer table, and wounded Casey Rugresser, crouched next to Stephen. Harris walked over to table 19 where he bent down and saw two frightened girls. He slapped the top of the table twice and said, "Peekaboo," and fired, killing Cassie Burnell. After shooting Cassie, Harris made a comment about hitting himself in the face. Investigators believe Harris had broken his nose as a result of the kick from the shotgun when he bent to fire under the table. He then turned to Bree Pasquale, who was sitting on the floor because there was not enough room under the table nearby. Harris asked her if she wanted to die, and as the girl pleaded for her life, she observed blood flowing from his nose. She later said that Harris seemed disoriented for a moment, but was able to refocus when Klebold called his attention to table 16, under which two boys were hiding. One of the boys Klebold announced was black. Bree also recalled Harris laughing and saying, "Everyone's gonna die, and we're gonna blow up the school anyways." Harris and Klebold stood on opposite sides of table 16. Klebold, standing on the east side of the table, was heard making a racial comment and began grabbing at Isaiah Scholes in an effort to pull him from underneath the table. Harris fired under the table, killing Isaiah. Klebold fired under the table as well, killing Matthew Ketcher. Harris threw a small CO2 cartridge south, which rolled under table 15. Mackay Hall grabbed it and threw it further south from everyone, where it exploded. Klebold and Harris walked north towards the main counter of the library. Harris threw a Molotov cocktail towards the southwest side of the library. The gunman went behind the counter and had a confrontation with Evan Todd, who had moved under the counter after being injured. The gunman taunted him and one discussed whether or not to kill him. They walked away and Klebold fired back into the kitchen area of the library, striking a television. The gunman left the library. Harris and Klebold were heard talking about going to the school's commons area. Klebold picked up a chair and threw it on top of a computer terminal on the main counter under which Nielsen was hiding, and the two walked out of the library main entrance into the hallway. It was 11:36. Only 7.5 minutes had passed. The time it took the gunman to shoot and kill 10 people and wound 12 more. There were a total of 56 people in the library, and the gunman had enough ammunition to kill every single one of them. But they didn't. When the gunman left the library, it was filled with smoke, and the fire alarms were blaring. The students' ears were ringing, the injured were moaning, and yet almost all of them described it as eerily quiet. The gunfire had stopped. The gunman's taunts and laughter had stopped. No one wanted to look at each other. No one knew if the gunman would come back and finish what they started. No one wanted to face the reality of what they had just witnessed. Slowly, they began to move. Not all at once or as a group, but one by one, or in small groups of 2 or 3. They moved when their fear of staying became bigger than their fear of moving. All the students and teachers who left the library went through the emergency exit, which leads to the west entrance where the gunman first entered the school. They ran to the safety of the waiting patrol cars and armed deputies who could give them protection and lead them to safety. In 7.5 minutes, 10 people are killed and 12 are wounded, and there was a total of 56 people in the library. 34 escaped injury. 2 library employees remained hidden in the television studio. Patty Nielsen, originally hiding under the front counter, she ultimately crawls into the library's break room to hide in a cupboard. All 4 women remain in the library until they are evacuated by SWAT around 3:30 p.m., more than 4 hours later. From the library, Harris and Klebold go into the hallway and make their way into the science area. Witnesses describe the two as looking through the windows of some of the classroom's locked doors and making eye contact with some of the students, yet not attempting to break into the rooms or harm any more of the students. A teacher sees Klebold and Harris in the science hallway, stopping in front of the chemical storage room, just east of Science Room 3, where she's hiding. Several students witness the suspect shooting into empty rooms. Klebold and Harris also tape an explosive device on the storage room door next to the area where teacher Dave Sanders and several students are hiding. Witnesses say the gunmen do not appear to be overly intent on gaining access to any of the rooms. The gunmen could have easily shot the locks of the doors off and the windows out and fired into the classrooms. But they don't. Their behavior now seems directionless. At 11:56, Klebold and Harris's movement continues to be extremely random. The cafeteria videotape shows the gunman coming back down the stairs and into the cafeteria. Klebold is holding the Tech-9. Television news announces reports of 2 gunmen at Columbine High School. Between 12:02 and 12:05, Deputy Walker sees a muzzle flash from a library window and returns fire. Deputy Gardner fires 3 shots at the gunman. Denver police officers also provide suppression fire to the library window. This allows paramedics to retrieve 3 wounded teens. Eric and Dylan had made their way back to the library where most of the carnage had taken place. At 12:08, shortly after the last gunshot is fired from the library window at law enforcement and paramedics, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold kill themselves. Dave Sanders lays in the room, bleeding out, while students show him pictures of his family from his wallet. Dave Sanders died that day, and he died a hero. He directed many of the students out of that school that day, while directly putting himself in the line of fire. Dave Sanders is a hero. When all was said and done, Eric and Dylan had killed 13 and wounded 24 others before taking their own lives. This has been 1 Hour at Columbine.